absolute talent, and that's why
it's just a sign of the strength and depth of top Premier League clubs nowadays that
so important for players
coach can make so many changes. 9 tonight, but this starting 11 that Arsenal have put out tonight could quite easily be starting a Premier League sign of the strength and depth of top Premier League clubs nowadays.
And it gives you that versatility of being able to make 9-10 changes. Lots of these Premier League clubs.
This starting game week in, week out.
This is, I mean, there's no doubt. This is where the relish fact of playing against these top players, which is brilliant for the competition. A lot of money to have that strength and depth. It's for the reasons of playing in top competitions, Champions League, Cups. Playing in this evening.
The first goal that Port Vale conceded in this season's Carabao Cup. They've already played 2 rounds, 2 excellent results as well. You're spot on there, Lee, because I think all of these players that are lining up for Arsenal today will be saying to Mikel Arteta, don't forget about me. You know, the likes of Miles Lewis-Skelly, who this is his first start of this season. Of course, he played for England in their first international in September, then was left out completely of their following games. So he might be wondering, well, what have I done wrong here? Can't get in the Arsenal first team, and suddenly I'm forgotten about with England. So he'll be champing at the bit to produce a quality display tonight, and we know that he is full of talent.
He is, and that's why I think these competitions are so important. Times that you see Premier League outfits coming up against maybe the lower leagues, that's where you have to perform and really be on your steel to let the manager know that, listen, I'm still available here.
Marino. Ranieri. Martinelli. Got that for a first touch. There's with the layoff. His manipulation of a football is something else, isn't it?
It's almost like it's glued to his foot, isn't it? I mean, there you're thinking he's going to pass it, but I don't know if he's got some glue on them boots, but it's not moving away from his feet for sure.
Sign of Arsenal's dominance. 81.8% possession. Ranieri. White. This is Norgard. White in space to his right. Saka up that right hand side. Again trying to get in behind Headley, who's got his work cut out.
Yeah, I think both wing backs haven't they? Martinelli has looked bright and lively on the left side, and you know that Saka's got a point to prove. So both wing backs for Port Vale have got a real tough job on their hands. They really have today. I think as for the midfield also as well, Christian Norgard, very good player as well, you know, coming into the midfield area where he'll dictate and have plenty of football.
Saka and Eze over this then for Arsenal. One up already through Eze's first goal for the club. Ranieri. Now Lewis Skelly. Saliba. Saka onside. And the header from Marino just skims off the head rather than comes off it with any great power or direction.
And that's a difficult thing as well, when you peg so far back defensively. You know, can you find an outlet? Can you get one of them advanced players on the ball? It's going to be Payton that's going to play a real big role for Port Vale, because when they do win the ball back, Arsenal like to press high. They like to try and win it back, as we've seen there. Difficult for Port Vale to get out. At times they're going to be pegged back for long periods.
Port Vale enjoyed their best ever run in this competition just 2 years ago. They reached the quarter-finals before losing here to Middlesbrough. More recently, they've regularly fallen at the first hurdle. 7 of the last 9 seasons they've gone out in round 1. As George Hall is penalised once more.
I must say, I was at Liverpool yesterday and I've been so impressed with the way Arsenal started the game. I really have. And Liverpool made a hell of a lot of change. I think it was 11 changes themselves they made, and nowhere near played in the same intensity that Arsenal have. Real good character. It always impresses me in these competitions, is that players coming in, sometimes they find it hard to adapt. There's a lot of new partnerships that are going on out there. But so impressed with Arsenal so far.
Eze for Martinelli. Norgard. White. Saka. Dealt with by Connor Hall. Martinelli. Lewis Kelly. Most of Arsenal's forays forward have been down their right-hand side in these opening 20 minutes. Martinelli hasn't seen anywhere near as much of the ball as Saka has. That last win that you've probably just read about, way back in 1901, was not at Vale Park. Vale Park didn't exist until 1950, in the early 1900s, when these sides met quite a few times. In fact, Port Vale played at the Athletic Ground in Cobridge. Vale Park built in 1950. Had nearly 50,000 here for an FA Cup tie some 10 years later against Aston Villa.
You can't beat the old stadiums. I always think that they are the best. They turn up, and going back in time at times.
Port Vale a bit wide open here, but Mourinho checked back rather than trying to go on the outside of Headley. Saka joining in. Now Lewis Skelly for Martinelli. Too deep.
Well, it's unlucky. You can see what he's looking for. Martinelli's looking for that deep cross there where Marino maybe should be, or someone should be filtering around that back post, but you can see that Saka's gone into a more central area from the sort of right wing role that he normally plays. And Darren knows, don't he, that this is going to be a massive ask for them. It really is. It's trying to stay in the game for long periods. That will be his encouragement. Keep focused, keep defending. They might just get that turnover of play where they might just give themselves half a chance.
Well, he'll have wanted a fast start from his team, and he very nearly got that, didn't he? They were out of the blocks really well, and a few long throws that looked like they might cause Arsenal difficulty, but Premier League side soon settle into their stride and have penned Port Vale back deep inside their own territory.
Yeah, definitely. This is where these games, and these times are hard, aren't they? I mean, you compare the two sides, I touched on earlier, the money that Arsenal have spent, and then you look at what Darren Moore's done at Port Vale in bringing free transfers and loans, just because they have nowhere near the comparison of budget. But what he does is, I've always been impressed with Darren Moore's management and the way he recruits. He's always had that as an important method of his management. And that's why he always does seem to find the players that can just come into a level and give him what he needs. And that's why he got his promotion last season.
He went up last season from League Two as runners-up. That was the objective. When he came in 18 months ago, Port Vale were sliding down League One. It looked like they were definitely going to go down anyway, and his job was to make sure that when they dropped into League Two, they weren't down there for very long. Now this season it's all about survival. They're currently in the bottom 6 in League One, but they have won their last 2 games here, so they do feel as though their momentum in the league is picking up. It's nice from Gabriel. And now Crowsdale. Patton. Well, the home support enjoyed that passage of play. Deborah forward. Run back by Eza.
It's George Hall and Curtis are just playing maybe in 2-10 roles, aren't they, when they go forward? Patton being that more central figure. I don't know how they were going to line up this evening. Darren does like to play with that back 3, possession, back 5, out of possession. Them two obviously have to go up and give him plenty of support when they get moments of the football. I don't think they'll get much of it this evening.
I think there were some eyebrows raised amongst Vale supporters that Devante Cole who's got 3 and 3 since he joined the club, and Mo File, who's come on loan from Wrexham, weren't involved from the off. But I think Darren Moore's philosophy would be that we're not going to have the ball very much up top. I've got to have forwards that can help the midfield as much as possible, and that's what he's got in Patton and Curtis. Everybody in a white jersey tonight is going to have to work so hard just to keep Arsenal out as much as possible. Occasionally, sporadically offer something themselves going forward.
Well, that'll be the game plan, won't it? They won't be expecting to dominate the football. They won't be expecting to create loads and loads of chances this evening. It will be about staying in the game for long periods and then maybe bringing on the likes of Devante Cole, who might just have that X factor that might just get them something that might go to penalties.
Kepa out quickly to deal with it. The flag has been raised.
A clever little run as well. Now is just trying to arc his run. It looks very close. I think if anything from that view, what we've got there is Lewis Skilling might have just kept him on side, but you could see he's just trying to arc that run and wants that ball probably a little bit sooner.
Yeah, good run off the ball there by Jordan Gabriel, and as you say, Lee, it looked very tight from that replay. This pass will find its way to Headley, and now it's Connor Hall. As much as anything, Port Vale could just do with a bit of time on the ball, a bit of possession for a minute or so, just to try and calm themselves down, because it has been a bit of a whirlwind start from Arsenal.
Yeah, it's been brave, isn't it? I think that's the key word I'd say. Is that keeping the ball, yes, making sure that you're making Arsenal work for it. Still only 1-0. I mean, that early goal, you're thinking this could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maybe, but it's not the case. They've just weathered the storm, and that's where having that little time on the ball, bit of possession, even though sometimes it's not going forward, it's just making Arsenal work hard.
Saka dispossessing Headley on this occasion, and Ranieri draws the foul. Arsenal have only lost once so far this season. It's a 1-0 defeat at Liverpool at the end of August. But more precious lead points dropped at the weekend when they had to come from behind to get a 1-1 against Manchester City. And already, Lee, after just 5 games, there's a 5-point gap between the leaders and the rest.
Yeah, it's an absolute massive gap already, isn't it? And when you do look at Liverpool, I don't think they've even really got started. I just think that there's still more to come. I did say that last season. I didn't think they were anywhere near the Liverpool size that we've seen in the past. Again, the quality that they brought into the squad, you do feel that eventually I think something really will click with Liverpool, and I'm sure that Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, all the guns that are chasing them down will be hoping that that's not the case, because that could be the end of the season for most of them chasing that title.
Ronan Curtis just winded as he took that ball forward in the midriff. John Rudge, the former Port Vale manager, was talking about those FA Cup victories in 88 against Spurs and 96 against Everton. He was the man at the helm, in charge here for so long. And most of Port Vale's success has come with him at the helm.
What a legend. Don't look like he's changed, does he?
He used to wear a cap like that in the day, didn't he?
That was brilliant. Love to see.
Mikel Arteta, who's only won 1 trophy since taking over at Arsenal. That was in his first season, the FA Cup. That's the last thing that Arsenal have won. It's the only trophy they've won in their last 8 seasons. Major trophy, that is. There's been a couple of Community Shields in that time, I think, but I'm not sure many supporters talk about that as silverware, do they?
No, well, I'm sure Mikel Arteta will definitely...
I'm sure coaches do, but...
but yeah, maybe fans have got a different view on that, haven't they? But yeah, I mean, it's not enough for the football club, is it really? Certainly when You feel that they've had enough quality. They've been in really good positions over seasons with Arteta. Not quite got over the line. And that's where I feel that this season, bringing in more reinforcements for the squad, they really do need to produce some silverware in the major situation. So I think that there will be some frustration if that's not the case.
Had a winning start in the Champions League, of course. Way to Athletic Bilbao. Next up for them, Olympiacos. Also got intriguing home games against Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich. The one standout game away from home in the league stage doesn't come until January when they're in Milan to take on Inter. But they were nearly men last season, weren't they? Runners-up in the Premier League, semi-finalists in the Champions League, semi-finalists in this competition, the Carabao Cup.
Well, you know what they say, nearly's not good enough. That's what I'm sure most of the fans will be saying. Can't be a Nearly football club, can you? Not when you have so much talent.
Talking of talent, off goes Ezra. Croasdale got across him well. George Hall collects, and Port Vale on their way here as Curtis feeds Patton. Gabriel. Deborah. And this is Humphreys. Now Headley. Croasdale. Move that nicely into the feet of Curtis. Deborah. Steady progress up the pitch here for Port Vale. Gabriel swings it in. Easily dealt with by Arsenal. Forward by Lewis Skelly.
It's better from Port Vale though, isn't it? So they're going to have to be aggressive, there's no doubt of that. And that's what these fans want to see, they really do. I mean, they've turned up in their numbers, and yes, there'll be one thing that they come to see some of the top stars they don't get to see every week, but you do feel that they want a big performance, and they'll need one from their side this evening.
Have been scoring a few goals of late, Port Vale, 10 in their last 4. So they do have goals in them. But obviously all of those goals that they have scored have come against League One sides and also the Leeds United under-21 team. So not of the same quality as the defenders they're facing this evening in Arsenal Blue. As long as it's 1-0, they've still got an opportunity here to achieve something.
Darren Moore probably would have snapped your hands off, wouldn't he, if you said, would you take 1-0 at half-time? There's no doubt of that. I think since Arsenal scored the goal, they have dropped off the pace a touch. I said, well, have weathered that storm. Just needs to up another notch for Arsenal if they are to go and get that second goal that you feel that might just, it's a long way off, but kill the game off.
Brilliant movement. Ranieri is away from his man after the link-up play with White. Mourinho was a bit clumsy as he tried to get his shot away, a bit slow really, but cleared as far as Martinelli. Lewis Skelly.
How good was that from Ranieri? It's one thing I love about watching some of these young talented players, they not just passing and admiring that first pass, they want to get it back, they want to go and create another second move. That's exactly what Ranieri was doing there.
Saka.
Brilliant bit of play, a bit of movement from Eza. Should score really, should have two.
20 forward for this attack as Saka bears down the Vale goal. Forced away by Connor Hall. Killed in by Norgard. Met by Humphreys. Saka still. Lewis Skelly on for Martinelli. Away from Gabriel. Out by Headley. In goes Mosquera. Cleared by Croasdale, who was caught as he did so.
Yeah, Ryan Croasdale knew exactly what to do there. He used his experience, every inch of that clearance, and then the follow through. Mosquera.
Well, the Vale fans felt that challenge should have brought a free kick.
Not so sure. Not so sure.
Big 8 to 10 minutes between now and the half-time whistle, because Arsenal will be pushing hard for a 2-0 lead to go into the break with. From Port Vale's point of view, if they can keep it to 1, as we've been saying, that just gives them a little bit of belief for the second period after regrouping during the break.
Yeah, it does. The momentum's just shifted again, I think, with Arsenal. Really showing that they're capable of just flicking on that switch and causing a problem. Eza should have definitely made that 2. You expect him maybe just to lift it over the goalkeeper as he comes out. Super bit of play from Arsenal again.
Deborah up the line. Final touch off Gabriel. Croasdale was in with great determination. George Hall, Croasdale moving to his right-hand side. Lewis Kelly in the way. It'll be a corner.
Now these are big situations, aren't they, for Port Vale? Use them to bring some of the big hitters up front. Defence, good delivery from Curtis is so important. These are real key moments for the home side. I know that this is an opportunity of asking questions of Kepa in goal and so that they might not get so many chances about in this game.
From Connor Hall is blocked. His initial header, I think, that caused 1 or 2 difficulties to the Arsenal defence. Curtis working hard to reclaim, tosses it in again. Deborah wins the first ball, White the second. This is Headley. Bit of excitement around Vale Park. Gabriel in towards Deborah again. Connor Hall just loops it in. Curse is challenging. Ranieri hasn't cleared it as yet. And the whistle hasn't gone. Low cross in. Nodded away by Mosquera. No sustained pressure that Port Vale have been able to mount all night. And how the home supporters are loving it. Deborah. Eza can clear.
Well, that's what it's all about. When they get the opportunity to put the ball in the box, they've had that corner, defenders have stayed up, Deborah's still in that front line.
Up he goes again, cleared by Mosquera. That's nice from Ranieri, turning away from Croasdale. just the value of that little bit of pressure and the crosses that were tossed in there just lifts the support, doesn't it? You can hear them now, refound their voices.
Yeah, it always does, doesn't it? I mean, so they feel that there's something there, don't they? They feel that the team can produce something. I mean, there's only Port Vale score here, this place will erupt, won't it?
Ezra on to Martinelli. Deborah was across firmly. Lewis Skelly. Ben White. Saka being forced into his own half by Headley. Norgard, Eza. Oh, lovely from Martinelli. Now can he burn away from Gabriel? He's found a cross. Marino. Bodies diving in for Port Vale. Decisive challenges.
So good from Martinelli, because keeper doesn't want to come out of his goal. Depends on his defenders clearing that little bit of mess.
Eza. Marino. Saka. This is White. Norgard. Eza slid into good effect as Walters tried to wriggle his way beyond him.
Yeah, good challenge from Eza. Maybe just that one pass too many for Arsenal, is it? Because it's so congested in there.
Martinelli. Again, Gabriel doing just enough. And George Hall draws the foul.
I tell you, we'll be pleased with that. This game isn't put to bed just yet for Arsenal. You'll still feel that there's an opportunity, there's a chance. He'll be talking to his side at half-time if it does stay this way. And trying to give them that belief, that momentum that they can get something out of it. The longer the game goes on, Arsenal will feel that the pressure will mount.
Yes, they need one decent chance, don't they? They had that half chance for Connor Hall from that corner. Didn't really get hold of the header, but it's that kind of situation. If they can isolate him and he can generate some power with his head, maybe that will be the route back into the game. Cannot afford to concede before that half-time whistle a second goal, though, as Saka is brought down.
I'll tell you what, Eza made an absolute bursting run from midfield there. Saka just couldn't quite get his head up. Obviously, he's got Raheem Headley breathing down his neck, hasn't given him any time or space. Brilliant run from Eza.
But overall, Lee, when Eza put the ball in the net after just 8 minutes, after a really good, positive few moments for Arsenal, you thought they could run away with it. But Port Vale have hung on in there, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, and credit to them. They knew that it was going to be a massive challenge. As I said, that first goal, you were just expecting the floodgates to open. Wasn't the case. Yes, Arsenal had plenty of possession. But Port Vale will believe that they're still in their game.
So at half-time at Vale Park, League One Port Vale trailing by 1-0 to Premier League giants Arsenal.
Every time I kiss your face, I smoosh your. It felt on my neck.
Sporty bet.
Unbelievable. Wow! Amazing.
Breaking news out of Stamford Bridge. Shola to Chelsea. Here we go.
Come on, new guy.
Shola is named as the best player in the world.
The stakes are high at Stamford Bridge today. Neto plays the ball in. Shola!
Come on, go, man. Where were you?
Winning big. Bet now and win big with M Sport.
Elevate your banking experience with 10. It's time to invest in your future. Make a wish. Make it real. 10. The right equation for smart living. 10 is more than a number. It's the victory of financial peace of mind. 10. The ultimate slam dunk in banking. 10. Smart banking for smart living. Download the app now or visit 10.com.
Name?
Ifeanyi Obinna from Lagos, sir.
The king of virtual games. A virtual winner?
Yes, that's 7 straight wins, sir.
You, skyscraper. What's the view from up there?
I see all the crash points, sir.
Any sports expert?
Abena Ofori from Accra, sir.
He's the number 1 in Maltese. Pathological optimist. You have a bonus pick. Hey, you. Are you ready? Welcome to the team. I am Jose Mourinho.
And we are football.com.
What are your friends?
Don't worry, the big boys are coming. I will stay loyal to you as I am to Sporty Bets. I will share my booking codes with you and only you. I will... yes. I will be your hero. Your true sporty hero.
Wake up!
Chelsea with the big boys!
Welcome back from Vale Park. At the break, it is the Gunners with the 1-goal advantage over Port Vale. Victor Godfrey in the company of Blessing Fuwowe and Chigozie Brown. Guys, it was a tedious first half, even though Arsenal got the goal. However, credit to Port Vale, they have stifled that Arsenal attack. But let's talk about that goal. Blessing, Eze, the man that we all know can make all the difference. The nervous say like, okay, can we now defend this 1-goal advantage? Because and then they all be getting a bit nervous, say like, okay, can we now defend this 1-goal advantage? Because and then the crowd go behind the team.
Why should Arsenal get?
I'm just saying because with the Arsenal playing in the first 45, if they play like that in the second half, actually, Port Vale can build growing confidence.
I mean, I understand why you want a bit more.
Port Vale, just she's about to disrespect him.
Just no, come here. I'm not trying to disrespect.
He's about to disrespect him.
Just no, come here. I'm not trying to disrespect, but I'm saying Arsenal to want to do better. Like, you're having just 5 shots and only 2 of it on target. I expect more shots against a team like this. Now, we expected them to dominate in terms of the completed passes, possession, which is what we are seeing. But you've got to take more shots, like I mentioned. Take more shots.
Personally, I feel like Arsenal took their foot off the pedal, right? It almost looked...
Take your foot off the pedal.
Personally, I feel like Arsenal took their foot off the pedal, right? It almost looked...
Take your foot off the pedal at just 1-0.
Yeah, so here's the thing. The thing is,
you risk injuries too.
It might be a little bit of hubris, right? But I also feel like this is one of those games where this is the perfect game where Saka should be getting his form back. I think he's been a little bit too easy to defend against, right? Every time he gets his back to goal, it almost seems like he gets pushed into his own half of the pitch. That's probably something that he's got to work on.
Maybe he's trying to be
careful. And I think that maybe that interchange between Ben pitch, that's probably something that he's got to work on.
Maybe he's trying to be careful.
And I think that maybe that interchange between Ben White...
For what?
It's just returning from a hamstring injury. Hamstring injury. Remember last season he got injured, get a surgery. It's possible. Come on, are you going to risk one of your best players.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
Understand the psychology, the reason behind what Blessing just said. If professional football player is being careful to get an injury,
Victor. This is me responding to what Brown said about Saka being not up to par in terms of his performance and his output and what we.
So I'm not giving excuses as to why he is playing.
I'm saying that he's just returning from injury.
I'm just saying he's got to be better.
I agree.
Right? If he's because I watched the game against Manchester City. Right, he did better than this. He had more fire than this. So it's not like he can't get into second gear. It's just like he hasn't gotten into second gear.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he's trying to be careful. Remember last season,
he wasn't careful against
for 3
Manchester
months
City.
after a hamstring surgery. This short injury break he went on was also hamstring as well.
Interesting thoughts. That I don't know. You're a professional football player. Your job is to play football. You can't be careful. I mean, if you get injured, that's unfortunate. But no football player is like, you know what, I have to be careful. No, everybody goes in. I mean, it's expected. It's called a professional integrity and it's portfolio. All I'm just simply saying is that potentially, if Arsenal are not careful, the weight games and cup games like this are very, very unpredictable. You guys know how it goes. So I'm not saying that they're going to lose the game, but they need to be very careful. We know how it goes, yeah. All right, then. I like your confidence. I know, you didn't, but we know. It was implied. Okay, now we're going to go on the break, and when we come back, hopefully we'll have a more exciting second 45 as Arsenal have the 1-goal advantage at the break.
Anytime I kiss your face, I smooshed your. It felt on my neck.
Sporty bet.
Wow! Amazing.
Great things are happening on the Bet9ja mobile app. Enjoy betting services on a different level in the new season. Access a wide variety of betting options. Bet on your favorite sports with great odds. Win big with Bet Builder. Get great bonuses and promos. Withdraw your winnings with zero stress. Download the Bet9ja app from the Apple App Store and Google Play Store today.
Elevate your banking experience with 10. It's time to invest in your future. Make a wish. Make it real. 10. The right equation for smart living. 10 is more than a number. It's the victory of financial peace of mind. 10. The ultimate slam dunk in banking. 10. Smart banking for smart living. Download the app now or visit 10.com.
Name? Ifanyo Obina from Lagos, sir.
The king of virtual games.
A virtual winner? Yes, that's 7 straight wins, sir.
You, skyscraper. What's the view from up there?
I see all the crash points, sir.
Any sports expert?
Abena Ofori from Accra, sir.
He's the #1 in Maltese. Pathological optimist. You have a bonus pick. Hey, you. Are you ready? Welcome to the team. I am Jose Mourinho.
And we are football.com.
What are your friends?
Don't worry, the big boys are coming. I will stay loyal to you as I am to Sportybet. I will share my booking codes with you and only you. I will... yes. I will be your hero, your true sporty hero.
Of course, we have pictures now from the Vale Park as Port Vale at the break are 1-goal down to the mighty Gunners, Arsenal. With me still is Blessing and Brown. Guys, like we said, as much as Blessing will talk about protecting the injury, of...
protecting Saka.
Okay, protecting Saka. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're very objective, by the way. But let me get your thoughts on this. What can Port Vale do differently in the second half to maybe cause an upset? Who knows?
I think, first off, they need to be even more defensively sound than they were, after the goal came in. I don't think Arsenal have moved the ball quickly enough, and I think that Mikel Arteta is going to speak to them about that in the dressing room, and I think that they are going to come out like a house on fire in the second half. But the thing is, Arsenal don't necessarily need to get on second gear to win this game. Right? They have enough quality that moments of brilliance can carry them through, but Arsenal need a trophy. So I feel like they need to be a bit more serious about it. Port Vale coming out in the second half, they actually need to kind of give themselves a little bit of an edge. We've seen that they can't create something, so maybe they need to finish. Give themselves can't create something, so maybe they need to finish.
You can see the players now making their way to the pitch, getting ready for action in the second half. There's Devante Cole on the bench for Port Vale.
I mean, that's the son of Andy Cole, the Premier League legend, the Manchester United legend as well. And to think that his dad played at some point for the Arsenal Academy. So maybe this could be a game where he could also come on board and make himself count. He's got 3 goals in 3 appearances since he joined this team. So who knows?
All right, now let's let you enjoy second 45 action between Port Vale and Arsenal.
Arsenal out first from the dressing room. Arteta hasn't made any changes as yet. One expects that there will be alterations as this second half progresses, but ...61 places between these sides, remember. Port Vale currently 19th in League One, Arsenal second in the Premier League. They dominated the first half in terms of possession, but apart from the goal, probably only 2 other clear-cut chances. Joe Gauch in the Port Vale goal, then he only had to make 1 save from Eze. And here's Crowsdale down that right-hand side, but the ball has just drifted out of play.
Yeah, trying to work the areas, aren't they? Started brightly as they did in that first half. Asking for a foul there. I'm not sure it was. I thought it was just a little bit of strength there from Eze. He gets the ball. There's any even contact. I think he just goes over Eze's knee, sort of thigh area.
Deborah's header. Put forward by Saka, but inaccurate from the Englishman who has been out for a while with a hamstring problem. Came back for the second half against Manchester City at the weekend. And in from the off tonight. Darren Moore, who has never gone past this round of this competition as a manager. 3 years ago was the closest he came when he was at Sheffield Wednesday. They lost a penalty shootout at Southampton, who were then a Premier League side. Helped on there by Curtis. Rescue clearance by Mosquera.
He's one of the nicest men in football, Darren Moore. I'm sure you of that. Such a nice guy, but he's got that winning mentality. And he will believe that they can get something. I'm sure that will have been the message in that changing room. Let's keep pushing, let's keep probing. At the times when to go forward, which they will do.
Referee Andrew Kitchen just wanting a word here with Saliba and Connor Hall, the Port Vale captain. Had their only real chance of the first half with that mistimed header. That's how the first half starts. A painful blow for the England man here.
You know what? Most managers, their nightmare, isn't it? You're playing cup competitions, you want your best players available, you want your squad available to pick for the Premier League, the Champions League. And the thing is, knowing managers, they just want to make sure that they get the result. Everyone's unscathed, no injuries, let's get out of here, let's get on to the next round. It's so important, particularly someone of Saka's calibre.
And even more so with the recent news that Nani Madueke, who's been in excellent form, has picked up an injury of his own that might not be as bad as first feared, but even so, he's going to be out until the next international break at least. So they can ill afford to lose Saka again. And this, an Arsenal squad that's already without Havertz and Jesus, and of course their captain Martin Odegaard. That's why they have deep squads, of course. Just had a glimpse there of young Max Dowman, the 15-year-old. Pretty sure he will get on at some stage, Lee. But while it's still 1-0, Mikel Arteta might just keep that change up his sleeve for a bit longer.
Yeah, I think he will make changes, there's no doubt. I think it's usually the criteria is that in the cup competitions, most players get 60-65 minutes, and then ones that are on the bench usually get a run out. And what you say, with it being 1-0, still very, very cagey, and it hangs in the balance, so put all your eggs in one basket, can you? You need to box clear, and that's where they get paid the big bucks.
Arsenal haven't really got started since the restart. And that will just give Port Vale growing belief that they might still be able to achieve something this evening. Raheem Headley with this throw. It was he who scored the winner at Birmingham in the last round. Curtis attacked it bravely and stayed down. And referee Kitchen wants to just check on his welfare.
I think that was a knee in the back. Morning, Curtis. Goes up for the challenge. It was just something or nothing. Oh God, just going up to win the header. Slight little clash in the back.
Norgard involved. His first start for Arsenal since his £15 million move from Brentford. Actually reached the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup with Brentford when they were a championship side in 2021, who were beaten at that stage by Tottenham, who of course Thomas Frank is now the manager of. Mourinho's lost that. Curtis really scrapping and battling for his team's cause.
And this is one where a hint of frustration. Curtis just leaning over. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. His manager's there to help if called upon. Darren Moore.
He's not a bad man to have in your camp, is he, Darren Moore? Look at that crowd, 16,326. That is a sellout. A terrific following from Arsenal as well, 30 shy of 3,000.
That's what the cup competitions are all about. I love seeing these packed out stadiums. As I said, the old school stadiums. Great noise, great atmosphere. That's why the cup competitions are always special.
Humphries has enough pace. His pass back had too much pace though.
Sloppy defending. Good control. He had plenty of time. He's just trying to play it back to his goalkeeper. Not sure he even looks, does he? He just plays it at pace. He actually got no chance of getting control of that. Now they're under the cosh again.
Well, a few corners we've had this evening. This is Arsenal's third. Humphries keeping an eye on Mosquera. As Arsenal go short. Back for Luis Kelly. Saka for Eze. Onyeri. The pressure from George Hall. Saliba. Yeri. Saka in behind Headley. And a good recovery again by the Port Vale man.
He's been outstanding, Ian Headley. And he's had to be. Darren Moore talked upon his team. They've all got to pull and produce 110% performances, haven't they? He has been outstanding though. I don't think that Saka's had a lot of change from him at all. They're playing a real high line as well, Port Vale. I know they've got the pace in wide areas, particularly with Gabriel and Headley. It's a foot race.
And Yeri there, if Saka wants to go short again. He's addressing this, I don't think he will. Attacking that near post. So 3 corners in quick succession here for the goal. Well, I thought there was, and so did Mosquera, but goal kick is the verdict.
It certainly looked like another corner kick. Mosquera was waiting for that little flick, wasn't it? So just clear it up. It does look like an Arsenal corner.
Yeah, it looked like it might have come off the shoulder of Cameron Humphreys. Closing in on 300 games as Arsenal manager, Mikel Arteta. This is 297. Rosedale forward. Patton putting the pressure on Mosquera. George Hall won it back, but then gave it back.
And that is the problem Port Vale will have is when they win the ball back, they're really limited in who they can play it to, what support they've got, what forward players, advanced players that they can play into. And that's why it's always just going to be the one it's that's going to be the more advanced. And that's where it has to be proper, inch perfect to keep the pressure on Arsenal.
Only conceded 2 goals so far this season, Arsenal, and both goals were quality. One at Szoboszlai's cracker for Liverpool, and then that wonderful counter-attack and finish from Erling Haaland on Sunday. One of these Port Vale players write their name in history with a goal tonight. Nearly an hour played in front of a sellout Vale Park. An early strike from Eza still separating the teams as Mourinho collects. White. Eza. This is Norgard. Saka. Martinelli. Lewis Skelly back for Saliba. Norgard, White, it was Skelly, and now Wanyeri. In the way was Connor Hall.
It's so patient from Arsenal. You can see it's coming from left to the right hand side. Just trying to find an opening where they can create a shot, a goal.
Well, here he is, young Max Dowman. And no great surprise that it's Bukayo Saka who's coming off. I guess before the game.
I'm sure he's going to be late for school tomorrow. Not have the morning off, but it's brilliant to see him. He's got bags of talent. It's all about bedding him into a really fabulous squad. And as you said, confidence he isn't short of, coming into the team, a squad of some world-class international players here.
Mikel Arteta in his press conference yesterday was asked about Max Dowman and about his ability and his approach to training and stuff, and was asked what happens when he tries to take on some of the big stars in your team and embarrasses them, and he says that they kick him. And he just bounces up and gets on with it again.
I've been on the receiving end of a few of them back in my time, believe me, but that's one thing that separates you from just being an average normal player, is that you relish the fact of coming up against top players and not doing it to really mock or say, or really, it's all about having the belief in yourself that you can go and do it against these top players, and that's where you get confidence, and that's where you go to the next level.
Two changes imminent for Port Vale. Now, they don't have, unsurprisingly, 15-year-olds coming off their substitutes bench, but experienced grafters who will look to find that equaliser goal for Darren Moore's men. Rosedale forward. And the flag up against George Hall. Played at Wembley back in the last season, George Hall, in the League Two playoff final for Walsall. Had a terrific season on loan with them from Birmingham before moving permanently to Port Vale over the summer. And here come the changes for Port Vale. And it is George Hall who will make way for Ben Garrity, who's coming on. Very popular figure here now in his 5th season at the club. 2 promotions during that spell. And Jordan Gabriel, the right wing back, is going to make way for Mitch Clark, who's another right wing back, over 100 appearances for the club. So 2 players who are Vale through and through are on for the closing stages of this one.
Yeah, fresh legs needed. Certainly expect that. To that stage of 60, 65 minutes, and those sides tend to make them changes. Vale have really had to work hard. Possession, not having an awful lot of the football. A lot of defending, hustling, harrying. Just allowing Arsenal just to dictate the football and completely run away with this game.
Here's Dowman. Nicely done for Lewis Skelly. White. Wanyeri.
White.
Devante Cole and Jayden Stockley, the next twist for Darren Moore. 2 strikers. Need to find a goal from somewhere.
Yeah, well, listen, it gives them an option, doesn't it, to go and mix things up. 2 centre forwards, Stockley, they can go a bit more direct into him, they can play off him. And it's at that stage of the game where I think, yes.
It's a decent ball by Croasdale, and kept her out quickly, sorry Lee, just to get there ahead of Curtis.
It's better, isn't it? Just trying to break the lines of Arsenal. asking more questions in behind than runs. Arsenal won't want. They prefer having authority, the way they can see things in front. Chasing things in behind is always difficult for defenders.
Mitch Clark with his first long throw, and it's not very long. Slipped out of his hands, I think, there. And he's got it back from Crowsdale. And now has a chance to centre. And that will come out as far as Deborah. Back for Clark.
Yeah, two really poor balls from Mitch Clark. Himself in really good areas, and then that one there couldn't quite pick out an area. This one's far too long. It's giving no one any chance. Look, you've got 1, 2, 3 bodies in, 4 bodies in the box.
So Rory Patton, who's worked his socks off up front, will make way for Devante Cole. Jaden Stockley, and Devante Cole is the other sub, and it's equally exhausted Ronan Curtis who will make way. So a different front two. Devante Cole, 3 goals in 3 games for Port Vale, signed as a free agent earlier this month. And you'll remember his father, Andy Cole, who started his career at Arsenal, made his debut for the Gunners at the age of 19. And Arsenal making alterations themselves. The Swedish international Victor Gyökeres is on for Marino. Ben White is also being withdrawn as Gabriel comes on. Doesn't want to go off. Coming number 4.
Scorers come out onto that right back row. Obviously, Gabriel back into his usual role in centre half.
A terrific ball. Martinelli held up by Clark and then stopped by Deborah. Looking for Stockley, whose job is to try and hold on to it or possibly win free kicks. He's done neither there. Gabriel too strong and possesses too much nous. Scara now switching to the right-hand side of the Arsenal defence. Gabriel sitting alongside Saliba, as ever.
Yeah, I think Arteta's looked at it and maybe felt the fact that Devante Cole and Jordan Stockley coming on as a partnership, a pairing, if you like. I think he's realised that you have to go a little bit more solid, bring his key centre-half back on. Just try and control the game a little bit now.
Dowman, stopped by Hall. Here's Walters. But there's just that little bit extra excitement around Vale Park now because the home support know that in Devante Cole they have got a player on the pitch that if half a chance falls his way, he's likely to put it on target and it might bring the equaliser.
Yeah, I think that's what more will have thought coming into this game, is that knowing that the confidence that Devante Cole has at the moment in front of goal. He is on a great roll at the moment. Even the likes of Jordan Stockley, they can cause team problem. And that's why I think his game plan would have been, let's try and work, let's try and tie it. And then we can bring on fresh legs in that forward area if the game still hangs in the balance, which it definitely does.
Mascara, that's a dangerous ball. It's an inaccurate ball, and it's Garrity. And now it's Walters. Can't get the shot away. Clark joins in. Crosdale. Clark. Oh, the chance is gone.
Another good opportunity for just to work something where they're going to put balls into the box. You've just brought two centre forwards on who are going to play literally in between that 6-yard box. They need delivery, they need something to go at. This is a little bit of pressure. Scary giving the ball away. And look at Arsenal, they get back in that real solid unit, don't they, as they are capable of doing so. That's why they have always had one of the best defences, particularly over recent seasons. But that's where you need to really move fast, you need to act quickly. Vale didn't do that.
Yes, that was an opening out of nothing for Port Vale, and Arsenal swiftly closed the door that Mascara had briefly opened for them. Still to record a shot on target tonight, Port Vale. It's still only one goal down. It's the mighty Arsenal. And Arsenal packed.
Yes, to say that Kepa should make if it is on target, but all of a sudden the fans are believing. There's an atmosphere, there's a nervous energy around the place.
Suddenly, after looking so assured in possession all night, Arsenal are making some schoolboy errors in possession. Twice now giving the ball away cheaply. First time Port Vale failed to generate anything of note. Second time Devante Cole has a go, and Kepa will need to see it go over his crossbar.
They are playing a lot higher up the pitch. Instead about that high line they're playing, that's allowing it's a Garrity to really push on. Crosdale, and obviously they've got the two up there now in Devante Cole and Jordan Stockley, so there's going to be more opportunity.
This is Damon though to Arsenal. He's got away from Headley, who is Skelly. Good tackle by Walters, and it's Stockley. Couldn't get his feet right. Wanyeri picks up the loose ball. Dowman takes over. Who is Skelly?
Lift it over both defender and goalkeeper. What a pass from Max Diamond to pick out Gyökeres. That should be two, and probably game over.
Outstanding ball, and absolutely no question that Gyökeres was onside. Problem here, far side for Mitch Clark, and it looks as though Port Vale might have to sub one of their subs. Who's available to them as a defender off the bench, and it would be Ben Hennigan, but he's more of a central defender, so not sure if they've been able to play the wing-back system if Clark does have to withdraw, and looks pretty certain from that he will be. He can barely move.
I think he fell awkwardly, didn't he? I think over that right-hand side near the touchline where he just slipped and maybe overstretched the groin, hamstring.
It's going to be Funso Ojo, the Belgian, to come on. More of a midfielder. It'll have to be a reshuffle in the midfield, as I say, if they want to play with wing-backs until the final whistle. Disappointing night for Mitch Clark. He wasn't on the pitch for very long and now might be out of the picture for a while. He was on loan at Shrewsbury last season, Funso Ojo. 34 years of age. And another change for Arsenal as Leandro Trossard is going to be introduced for Gabriel Martinelli. Declan Rice also being brought on. And the goal scorer, Benavechi Eze, has concluded his work for the night. Arsenal's sixth corner. Darwin doesn't need to wait long for his first touch. Lewis Skelly. Trossard. Yeri. Skelly drifting it forward for Gyökeres.
They do keep the ball really well, don't they, Arsenal? You'd expect them to. I think that Arteta maybe bringing on the likes of Declan Rice. Gyökeres gives them something to really go and aim at as well, doesn't he? Focal point if in trouble.
Almost lost it. Already an under-19 international for England, Max Darman. Just 15, remember. And he doesn't look out of place, does he?
No, he doesn't at all. I mean, since he's come on, he's just showed so much character and carries himself so well.
Some of the loose ball forward by Arsenal that brings Port Vale a throw.